All right, so we kind of talked about interest rates this week. Mortgage News Daily, they stayed flat today. It's at 6.23. Do you think those will keep creeping down into maybe even the high fives going into next year?
Yeah, now, again, I think a lot of people have the misconception just because the rate cuts. I mean, I don't know how many times I've had somebody, Nick, I saw that the Fed lowered the interest rate, but the interest rates went up. Okay, so let's just make sure we understand what affects interest rate: inflation, economics, employment. It's not the short term interest rates, which the Fed controls. It's the 10-year traditionally, and then there's always a mortgage spread. So the market has already put into the market currently the rate cuts, because we already know there's pressure from the president. We got to lower rates. We got to lower rates. They've already said that they were going to probably lower rates, so it's already priced in. So the only way that I see that we will get interest rates this fourth quarter below 6, we got to have weaker economic data,
Mhm.
more unemployment. Okay, right now I think we're at 4.3.
Yep.
Oregon, Washington, we're right around 5.
Yeah.
We got to have maybe those mortgage spreads come down a little bit.
Mhm.
And then the stock market pull back, and we're seeing that a little bit. That's why this week we've seen interest rates. I mean, the lowest they've been this year is 6.13,
Yep.
but we've been at the lowest rate for a extended amount of time this last 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. And people, so for someone who's looking at interest rates and has that question, with the 10-year T-bill,
Yep.
or is it the 30-year
Yeah.
T-bill?
No,
10-year
ten
T-bill.
year.
So with the 10-year T-bill, what is usually the spread with that? Because I know it usually lands somewhere between 1.5 to 2%.
Yeah.
And now,
Probably in the last 2 years, it's been like 2.5 to 3.
mm,
So they call it the slow dance. So
yeah.
that's why I think that's one of the 4 reasons we could see it below 5 if that spread got a little bit better. Again, goes back to the weaker economic data, inflation staying intact, but unemployment getting higher.
Yep.
So again, the question I think is people are continue to ask is, okay, will that make the fourth and first quarter a better market? So this is what we know. We had a slower than usual nationwide and locally spring and summer market.
Yep.
So that traditionally that's the peak season, and it slows down third, fourth quarter. If we get rates to stay where they're at, I do believe that we'll see a little uptick in activity through the fourth quarter, even though it's traditionally, historically in the Northwest, a slower time. I think
Yep.
that will help because we do have buyer demand. It's just the affordability issue has still been a problem. And the lower the rates, the better the monthly mortgage payment.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw that a little bit last year, at the end of last year, when rates kind of kicked down a little bit to end the year, and we saw a good fourth quarter
Yes.
going into that next year. And like you said, spring, summer this year has been slow.
Yeah.
When you look at the overall, and especially in the Pacific Northwest, usually it tends to slow down with the holidays coming up, the weather getting worse. But what do you think it needs to reach for maybe that next pool of buyers to really get interested? What do you think?
I mean, if that net, I don't think between where we're at right now at 6.23 and 6. I mean, I think that has helped definitely 100%.
Yep.
Even though we've seen week over week mortgage applications go down week over week just by 1%.
Yep.
But if we compare, because you always have to say, okay, compared to last year, we're at 37 straight weeks of higher mortgage applications than we did the year before.
Yes.
Week over week, it slowed down. Why? Because we had a little drop, and then it went up a little bit. Now it's dropped back down to kind of where it was. So I think that's just going to stay flat. In order to get a really like where you're like, whoa, if you got below 6, you're going to see a big increase. We're already seeing it in the mortgage market with refis,
Yeah.
but that doesn't do anything for the actual real estate market as far as transactions go.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And I mean, because some people are stuck with those 7%, even eight is up to 8%
Yeah,
with some
eight.
mortgages.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see a lot more when it comes to refinances as we get closer to that 6% and
Yeah.
even lower.
You know, I mean, we're already seeing on the refi market, and the is up significantly just because, again, yes, if you bought a house late 2022, 2023, 24, depending when you are, I mean, you could definitely have an interest rate in the sevens.
Yeah.
So, Keegan, what is your predictions for the end of the year? Fourth quarter, is it going to be better than last year, worse, or the same?
I think, I mean, I wish we had a crystal ball. I wish you could tell. And talking to sellers, like that's a big thing that keeps on coming up because interest rates, everybody thinks interest rates by the spring are going to go down.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if everybody's thinking that, that's just a lot more competition waiting to jump into the game that's sitting on the sidelines right now.
Yeah.
So I think quarter four will be a good time for buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
There'll be good opportunities for the properties that have been sitting on the market for a while, especially if rates do come down a little bit. But at the same time, sellers who are wanting to get into the game, they're going to have a good opportunity if they price the property right to get it
Yeah.
off the.
If yeah, and we've seen inventory levels go from the peak
Mhm.
of 30 what was it? 33% more homes on the market at the peak in August, nationwide, and we're only up 17% for inventory. So your point of less competition is right. So you do have less competition and the buyers are there. So I think we'll have a strong fourth quarter as well.
What about compared to last year?
I think it'll be very similar because we got down almost. I think what the lowest we were is like 6.10,
Okay.
and we saw that help. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to see, maybe 2-3% better than this time last year. So that's a solid fourth quarter.
Thanks for watching. And if you got any questions about real estate in the Pacific Northwest, we've got you covered.